Hey, Happy New Year. Show, what is this? 365 is on after a quite a break. The holidays and everything. Let me go ahead and stop the YouTube thing. All right, there we go. We are here, 2022. So I posted the link in there as well as in Facebook. So you guys can hopefully join in. We last we did a show right at the second, I guess. Yeah, so I guess we did a last show was like January 2nd, and then the last month's been kind of crazy, but I think we're back to normal programming, regularly scheduled programming here. So we should be good. There's a lot of images in the group to go over. I think this show is brought to you by Simi, because he's been out and capturing a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in the group from him, as well as a few. Hey, Coach, good to see you. Hope the day is going well. Get my big thing of vodka. No, it's hot water with lemon juice. It's becoming a favorite for me. Just something real simple. Just nice hot water with some fresh lemon juice in it. Good stuff. So, especially in the winter. I don't know what I'm going to do in the summer. Maybe I'll do cold water with lemon juice. But yeah, definitely in the fall and winter, a hot drink is good. I usually have coffee in the morning, and then try to drink tea or something like this the rest of the day. So yeah, hope the day's going well, Coach. So we are back, hopefully back on a regular schedule. It's been kind of a busy start to the year for me. A lot of stuff, just a lot of things going on and work that had to get done on the weekends. So that explains a little bit, and then things just been a little crazy. So, but we're back, kind of getting back to a little bit more regular schedule as far as work and that type of thing. There's always seems to be a little bit of a load as far as people want to get stuff done right after the first of the year, resolutions, that type of stuff. So calendar kind of fills up, and then you get things around taxes and all that stuff. But I think we're mostly settled in here. So we shall see. So we can talk a little bit about the images here. Talk a little bit about the Olympics. I don't know if anybody's been watching the Olympics. I started, I guess, on Friday. I'm watching a few events. I'm not a super huge Winter Olympics fan, although I'm becoming a big fan of curling. We watched a little bit of that this afternoon, so maybe we can talk about that if anybody here is into curling. We will see. We watched when the U.S. mixed doubles team lost in a nail biter to Switzerland with the final stone. So I guess you could say you got to have stones to curl. I don't know, but it looks like it's actually there's more to it than meets the eye. I think there's a lot of crazy rules and processes or whatever that they do. So it's if anybody has any light, can shed any light on curling, I don't know. Need somebody to pop in from Canada maybe and enlighten us on that. But yeah, we watched a little bit of that. I watched some cross country skiing today. Ski jumping. Speaking of ski jumping, here's a former ski jumper, Wes. Right?
Are you? Oh yeah. Skiing all over the place here.
Yeah. You were. I think you were a good large hill jumper, from what I remember. That 110-meter hill, you would get out there. Yeah.
Sure, however far it is, I don't know. I just jump as far as I can.
I know you're modest. You don't like to brag. Happy New Year! Haven't seen you since.
It's been a while. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. And we're already into the second month, so.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah, things going by fast. You're going good for you so far?
Yeah, pretty good. Been busy.
Yeah. No, kind of the same way. Things have been good, but yeah, kind of crazy. So hopefully settling down. There was a kind of a crazy start to the beginning of the year, so hopefully things kind of settle down as we move from this point forward. So So good. Did you guys get ice? Any snow down there last week? We had that big storm roll through.
No snow, just freezing weather.
Mm-hmm. I saw a thing that they had a lot of problems with oranges and strawberries and stuff getting.
Yeah.
Problem with icing and stuff. Yeah. So.
The citrus industry is pretty much dead here anyway. But
they've been hit hard. They have some disease or something that took out a lot of the trees a number of years ago.
Citrus greening, they call it.
Okay.
Some sort of disease that they get.
Wow. I wonder orange juice is getting expensive, I guess, huh? It's man. So I saw that and that they had a problem with some of the freezing. So hopefully that's over. But that happens every few years. I mean, Florida is obviously not immune to freezing temperatures and ice. So.
Yep.
Oh, good. So you've been watching the Olympics? You watch anything?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Too much in sports, so it doesn't really catch me.
There's a few sports I'm interested in more from the endurance side of things, so like the skiing and that type of thing. Curling, though, I think there's something going on with curling. I think there's
yeah, I have watched some curling in the past, but haven't watched any this year.
I think that's a lot more complicated than it looks. There's a lot of stuff because I was watching it was the mixed doubles preliminaries, I guess. So the U.S. was against Switzerland, and they what's just went off, and they were.
I'm here. It's I'm trying to use one of my mirrorless cameras as a webcam, and I'm using the HDMI out, but what I didn't realize is that it turns off after 3 minutes.
Oh, there's not a way to change that setting?
Yeah, I just realized it before the show.
Oh.
I had the camera running to test it, and then I just realized that it does that, and I went into the menu, and there is no settings. The longest it can run is 3 minutes before it turns off the screen.
So it must be like an overheating thing or something, maybe?
I think maybe it's just like a power saving sort of thing, but it's weird.
Yeah, you think you should be able to override that if you've got it hooked into AC or something. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. But, yes, I was watching it was the mixed doubles, and the U.S. lost at the very end, like a final push of the stone, whatever, they lost. And the guy, they went back to the studio, and the guy's like, yeah, their communications, they weren't communicating well. I was like, and it was something else, something apparently that they should have been talking about that they weren't talking about while they were doing this. I was like, okay. Yeah. The closest I have family member that has ever curled was Pam's father. He did when he got his first job out of school. He was an agronomist. He was trained as an agronomist, and he worked for the USGS, I think it was. And when he got out of school in the early 50s, he got assigned to Minot, North Dakota, and apparently there's nothing else to do in the winter except curl. So he was a curler, and I guess he was pretty good because he got a blanket. I guess that's the thing you get. You win. The better you are, the more stripes you get on a blanket or something. And he had a blanket with a lot of stripes on it. So according to what Pam said, that means he was a good curler. I'm like, okay.
I figure you might get a fancy broom or something.
Yeah. A stiff bristle broom. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting watching him do that. I guess it melts just the surface just enough to get a little bit of water for it to slide on. I think that's just a little bit of melting. But yeah, the stones that they use are a special granite. This is totally photography related, I can tell. A special, I think it comes from, it's like Vermont. It's either somewhere in Vermont or Scotland, in one of those two places. So it's a special kind of granite, and they weigh 44 pounds each or something like that. So yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, that's a sport that you never hear about. Well, here in the U.S., unless there's an Olympics. Outside of that, nobody. Right.
Maybe up north they might do it, but yeah, down here.
Yeah, the upper Midwest, Canada. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that in the Minnesota, Wisconsin, that type of thing that I guess still do, curling, both outside and inside. They've done a lot, but yeah, not a lot here in Atlanta or Gainesville, I'm sure. So, Anyway, so you got out a little bit with the camera in the last
one time. I really have not been doing much photography. There just hasn't been much going on, and the weather's been bad, and nothing going on.
Makes it. Did you get any new equipment in the last couple months? Did you get anything? No.
Nope, nothing new.
Nothing new. Okay.
I'm pretty well set up. Really, there's nothing I really need.
Yeah, I mean, you got the lens and the camera last year, right? Yeah, the R.
2 years ago. Well, a year and a half ago now. It was
Didn't you get it
in June?
R, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it in June of 2020.
Wow, I thought that was June of last year.
No.
Okay, time flies when you got a pandemic.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey Frank, how are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, so I want to know, do you know anything about curling before we start?
Throwing the rocks down the ice.
Yeah. Do you know anything?
Bowling, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I think to me it's like shuffleboard on ice. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but you don't know anything. You don't have any like secrets to what the rules are or anything. No. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. I was telling Wes I was watching some of that today for the Olympics. I'm like, okay, well, there must be a lot of rules that I don't understand because there seems like there's a lot more strategy than I was realizing. But I figured I'd ask. Maybe you had a relative, or maybe you were, a curler back in the day. I mean, I can't imagine there's probably not much curling in California.
No.
Not the only curling yet in California is catching the wave.
The only curling happens in California or in salons.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. So good. So we're talking to Wes here. So no new equipment for you. I thought you got a new camera. Did you get a new lens last year? Did you buy a new lens last year?
I got an 85.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the 16, or is it? No, it's a 14. The 14 millimeter and the 85 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So.
No, I needed a couple full frame lenses to fill in some gaps.
Yeah. That's good. So you think you're pretty well set then? You've got pretty much what you need for the time being. You've got the crop sensor camera with the big lens for.
Which I'd like to upgrade it to a 90D, but just the way the market is right now, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Even used or refurbished, they're still just crazy expensive because there's no new cameras out there hardly. So,
so the used one.
It's going to get even worse as inflation hits harder.
Yeah, and the new supply it's behind, and then the used ones. So the used ones are increasing in value.
Yeah, same thing with used cars.
Yeah, cars is the same way. There's more. Used cars are worth more than new cars of the same model for the most part because of the availability. You can still get a used, like a 2019. If you want a 2019 Suburban. You can get one used. You can't get a new Suburban.
Yeah.
Now.
And the 2019 is almost as much as a brand new one would be.
Yeah.
I know. A couple of years ago, I was looking at Edmunds or to see how much my Beamer costs used, and it was around $4,500.
Yeah.
It's a 20-year-old car. It's 2000 model, and. I don't know. Several months ago, I looked up and it was almost $9,000.
Yeah.
Holy God!
Yeah.
That's how bad it is right
now.
Good
for me because I'd like to actually get the new Ford Mustang Mach-E GT.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you sell your Beamer for $9,000, which is twice as much as it was a few years ago. But then you buy the Mach-E for $89,000 or whatever it's selling for. What's it selling for now?
About $60,000.
Okay.
So you get 8 from the seller, the buyer from a car. I get $7,500 from the state.
You get the tax credit. Well, you get the federal plus California probably has a state credit too. Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably take 10 or 15,000 off the price of the new car
easily.
Yeah.
If not more.
So but by the time you add in the sales, say you're 20 to 30,000 available between the credit and the and the equity you would have, or the cash you would have from selling your old car. So, which brings that down to a manageable, probably 30,000 or so. Yeah. Which is still a lot of money, but it's a lot better than 60. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's almost like buying it used when it's new.
Yeah.
But they are jacking up the price. They're jacking up the price because they realize people aren't going to be. They have the mentality. Well, if I get this car, I can go into the I don't know, the fast lane, the fast lane, without having any sticker or some paying a fee.
Yeah,
because it's an environmentally friendly car, and you don't have to pay for gas. So they figured let's add on an additional premium to the vehicle, just like what they did with digital cameras when they first came out. Oh, I don't have to spend $10 a roll
on film. Yeah,
on film, but the camera costs so much more that you'd have to.
And at that point, then the memory cards were real expensive then too when they first came out. You know?
My God, it was
$100 a memory card back then, really, for a decent capacity memory card.
Easily.
Yeah, which was like a 4 gig card when they first came out. Yeah, if you're paying $100 for a card. Yeah. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it's all, I think, pretty much all consumer items, especially anything with a chip in it. So you have cameras, cars, consumer electronics so this is not the year. 2022 or 2023 is probably not the year to buy a car if you can avoid it, or unless you're able to work something, you just wait a couple of years to buy cameras or cars or any other electronics if you can. Because
that's why I'm praying my car somebody doesn't crash into me or the engine doesn't blow or something, because I do not want to try to buy a car right now.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were saying,
because they're too expensive.
Yeah,
and because of the chip shortage.
Yeah,
shortage of everything.
Yeah. I mean, they're actually now delivering cars with where you buy the option package, but they don't have the chip for the option package, so they're giving you a discount and leaving that chip bay open, basically, and saying, "Hey, when we get the chip, we'll call you and then we'll install the chip to give you the the upgraded navigation or the 3D cameras or whatever." So,
well, that's smart. It's better. The alternative is not selling it.
Yeah, to not sell it at all. But I don't know. It's so have you checked the value on your car, Wes, to see? I'm assuming used value went up tremendously. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as much as I paid for it 5 years ago. So
yeah. I mean, for my car, the Volt, which is a battery and it's got a gas engine generator, I could sell it for more than I paid for it. But then the question is, what do I buy next? Right? Yeah.
Right.
You kind of get stuck into that thing. So
how do you like that? The Volt. How do you like it?
Yeah, no, I really like it. I've had it a little over 5 years, and I just took it in for its oil change, which is not mileage based. It was just time based. I figure every 2 years, if you don't use it enough, you should get the oil changed anyway, because the oil is just sitting there. So I take the car. I've had the car 5 years. I've taken it in for 2 oil changes because I've only used 36 gallons of fuel in the 5 years in that car.
Wow. Do you know
everything else has been electric? Yeah, just by charging. Yeah.
But how many miles do you have on the car in 5 years?
Since I've owned it, I've only put 19,000 miles on it.
Oh,
because when I bought the car, that was right after I moved from having a daily commute of 40 miles a day to essentially working from home. So I have to go out and meet with clients, that type of thing. But most of the stuff was virtual, even back in 2016 when I got the car. And now, I mean, basically, it's just our around town car. We go shopping we do the weekend shopping and that type of stuff. If it's anything within like a 20-mile radius, which covers 90% of what we do on a weekly basis, that car, I don't need to use the fuel to generate electricity. I just make sure it's charged up. I like James. James is all charged up for the show, right? Hey, James.
I just got in actually.
Happy New Year.
That's ages ago. Where you been?
I don't know. We're what, 6 weeks in? I think anytime before daylight saving starts, it's still okay to wish people Happy New Year.
It's kind of like wearing white pants
to
before Labor
everybody.
Day.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Oh,
Happy New Year to you.
well, good. Glad you can join in. Yeah, we were just talking about the price of everything staying real high for cars and electronics. So you haven't had to buy a car in the last month and a half, have you, James?
Yeah, I bought one.
You did?
Yeah, I had a RAV4, and I bought
Okay.
another RAV4. So what I did is, when I bought my RAV4 3.5 years ago, I paid just over 20,000 for it.
Okay.
Now I went to CarMax and got 26 for it, and I bought a new car.
And you what? And you bought a new one?
My new car cost me about 32.
Okay.
But
All right.
I had an extra 6,000 to go on a new car. Wow. I put it aside because I'm making a cup of tea.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Yep.
You bought for 20. So you bought the RAV4, the old one. You bought it used, right, for about $20,000 bucks.
No. When I bought it, it was new.
Okay. So you bought it for around 20,000. You sold it.
Over 26,000. It cost over 20,000.
Okay.
But then I took that to CarMax. So what price would you give me? And they said 26. So I've made 6,000. So then I went down to check and bought another car.
You know, it's even worse. It's even greater than what he's saying because CarMax has got to turn around and sell that car for a profit.
Oh yeah,
they're going to turn around and sell it for 32. They're going to sell it for 31,000. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to mark it up 20% and hope that they get that. And yeah, so somebody bought yours that you sold to CarMax, James. They probably paid 30,000 for it at CarMax.
You know what? I don't care.
Yeah. If it fits, if what they paid you fits in with what you're doing, then it's on CarMax to sell it to somebody else.
If you can drive it for 3 years and make money, that's a good day.
Yeah.
My neighbor, her car died. The engine needed to be rebuilt. And so she sold her, I think it's a Toyota or no, it was a Honda. It was a Honda Fit.
Okay.
Sold it for $500 just to get it off the parking lot.
Yep.
I should have bought it from her.
Yeah, somebody put a new motor in that and made a nice chunk of change, probably.
Well, yeah, we figured it's going to be at least $5,000 or $6,000 to put the new engine in.
Yeah. But if you're handy, you can do it yourself. And
I used to be. I can't do that now.
Yeah. So you pay a couple $1,000s for a new engine or rebuild one yourself. Put it into the car you paid for $500. Turn around and sell it for $7,000. Make $3,000 on the deal for a couple weekends. Yeah.
Can you see the car?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
I got a moonroof, which I don't care less about, but it came with the car. I didn't have any options of what to choose. I was going to
I won't buy a car without one. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Were there a lot to choose? My guess is there weren't a lot to choose from, James. You just had to pretty much go what was on the lot.
There was nothing on the lot.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to say yes. I was with my friend John, and he knew I was looking for cars because we went around different dealerships looking for cars and that. And then he calls me at home and says, "Get $1,000 check with you. Go down to Rock Hill and give him $1,000, and you got a car." I said, "Okay." I hadn't even seen the car, so I went down. I gave him $1,000. Asked him questions and that. He said, "Be in the shop 25 days from now." So then 25 days later, it arrived, and I financed it. I was going to pay cash for it, but I financed it purely because it's interest free.
Yep.
For 3 years. So I'll pay it off before it comes up anyway, but use their money for now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Also, doing that way, you increase your credit score.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who bought a Mercedes, put it on credit, and next week he just paid it off.
Yeah.
The whole point was just to increase his credit score.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times, if you work it right with the dealer, you can get a little better price by going through the financing because they get a little bit of a spiff for selling the financing.
Oh,
so you do that, and then if you were going to pay cash anyway, then you just you keep the loan for a couple months. There's never any prepayment penalty on those, and you just write a check and pay off the loan. 60 days.
The car salesman told me that. He said, your best bet is to finance it then pay it off.
Yep.
Because what was it? Oh, I got an extra $500. If I financed it, I got an extra $500. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they probably got an extra $500 or $700 for the finance too. They get a finder's fee. They don't care. Once they get paid, they don't care how fast you pay off the loan because they get credit from the.
I've got it set up where it's through my bank now, so I don't have to worry about sending the check. It's all automatically. But I don't plan to keep it. I plan to pay it off soon.
Yeah.
When I bought my car, I paid it off in 6 months, and I ended up getting a check back from the finance company for a couple $100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I did was on my old car. Do you know how they talk to you about car warranties and that 100,000 warranty and 5 years and stuff like that, or 10 years? Well, I had one of those. It cost me $2,600, but I didn't pay $2,600. The car salesman kept saying to me, "James, you need this. You've got to buy this. Pay for it." And I said, "How much is it?" He said, $2,600. And I said, "Oh, I ain't paying that for that. You have to come down."
Yep.
So it kept going on and on. In the end, I paid $1,500 for it. Right?
Yeah.
But now, going back to today, that warranty is going to be prorated for some money to refund me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the car anymore.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, you had it for less than what you paid for this coverage for.
What I did is I looked on the paperwork and it said, like call them up when you cancel the car thing. And that's what I did. And they said you could get prorated amount. Well, I'm still waiting for the payment though.
Yeah,
so anything
you probably get back a couple $100 there. You'll probably get a couple $100 back on that. Yeah.
Whatever I get back is free money.
Yeah.
No, it's your money.
And you know what? A lot of people don't look at those warranties to to find out that they can get a proration done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of times either that or some of them will transfer to the new owner, which can be used as a selling point, if you have the warranty and you sell the car, I guess. But yeah.
I got to tell you, about every other day I get a phone call saying, "We've been trying to contact you for your car's warranty."
Yeah.
Delete it. Do you know what I did? I used to get those and I called my dealership and I said, "I get this message. Should I take notice? Because you're the ones who does my warranty." And they said, "Take no notice. Just ignore it."
Yeah.
I got a list. Apparently I own a 2020 Dodge Charger, which I don't, but
really?
I get calls and texts and mail about time to get the warranty on your Dodge Charger. I'm like, oh, okay. Don't even own the car. So I got on somebody's list somehow, and yeah, well, they don't care. They just send it out, and if somebody signs up and buys, then it makes then it's profitable. So,
but it makes them sound like an idiot in this shady business. Why don't they just put down your vehicle?
Yeah.
Somebody in their
well, their list is wrong. The list they bought had.
Well, it could be that too.
Yeah, I mean, they just buy a list from whatever car registration records or wherever they do it, and then they just if it costs them $5 to send out 100 emails and texts and a few letters, and then every one out of every 200 people gets a warranty, they make money on the deal. So, yeah, it's not that you don't need a high margin, you don't need a high take rate to make money on that. No, it's like phishing, all the scam stuff. It's like send out a bazillion emails for zero, pretty much, and if one person does, the gift card scam. Everybody texted that. I've got that. That you need to call right away, or you're going to be arrested. But give us, go and get the gift card and take care of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting.
I think here in Florida, vehicle registrations are publicly available, so it's easy for them to get that information.
A lot of states are like, I'm pretty sure that's here in Georgia too. So yeah. So it doesn't cost much to get the information and send
Mark, why have you been so busy?
Why have I been busy?
Yeah.
Trying to make money. Trying to pay the bills. I'm on the 2-year plan, James. I'm on the 2-year plan. Plan is to retire in 2 years. So I'm making hay while the sun shines as much as I can. So
I love being retired.
Yeah.
I filed a claim for disability with Social Security, and they denied me for 3 years. and talked to somebody who used to work there. We're not in the same department, but within the Social Security department, and she said you need to hire a lawyer. So I did back in April.
Okay.
And 2 weeks ago, I got a letter from the court saying we have approved your we are ruling in your favor.
Okay, good.
Because I back in I think August or September I had a hearing over the phone with the judge and the lawyer. So now I'm officially retired.
Okay. Well, good. I know you've been working on that, like you said, it's been a couple of years. Yeah.
My last day that I've ever worked was August of 2017.
Wow. Yeah.
Did they give you a backlog as well? Because my son-in-law, he's handicapped, he's only got one leg and that.
Yeah, there's back pay as well.
Okay.
And they did the same thing. They got a lawyer, and you got a large check.
Yeah, the lawyer takes $6,000.
Yeah, but for that's a. I mean, I don't know what compares, but that seems reasonable for what for basically getting things pushed through and getting it done. So. Yeah.
That's better than
we just had a friend
around and not getting anything.
Yeah, we just had a friend that is in the process. I think she's going to get approved. She has MS, and and it's kind of the persistent kind. So she's still able to but she's starting to have trouble with speech and that type of stuff. And she finally retired from work and is filing the claim for Social Security disability. And it's going to take a while. But even with a lawyer or whatever, you're still looking at 6 months minimum to get the claim sent through. So it's that's what it's there for, though. So that's I'm glad you got a resolution there, Frank, because I know that's been something you've been working through for a while. I didn't know it was 5 years. I thought it was maybe 3 or 4. But wow. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you finally.
I had originally filed a claim, state disability with the state of California, and they approved me immediately.
Okay. And that didn't do anything to weigh in getting stuff through on the Social Security side of things. You would think that would, bump you up the ladder or whatever.
The statistic that I heard was they automatically decline 80% of claims, regardless.
Yeah, just out of hand, and then they leave it up to those people going the next level and bringing in professional help to help them do it, basically.
Well, because there's so much fraud, and anybody can get my back, and it looks believable. So unless you're paralyzed or basically you've got your head chopped off in some freak motorcycle accident, you're not going to get immediately approved.
Yeah,
you're just going to get automatically declined. And with that, they hope that the people will just,
kind of self-select their way out.
Filter out the scammers.
Yeah. No, it's the bar is relatively high for Social Security disability, which I guess it should be. But on the other hand, you should be able to. There should be a better process for. To qualify if you meet the criteria, and it sounds like that part is broken a little bit too.
You should be able to deal with an adjuster over there who can look at the facts and say, okay, this guy quit. He didn't file for unemployment. He didn't file for workman's comp.
Yeah,
it's been 5 years and he hasn't earned a penny other than the from state of California. Maybe he's legitimate.
Yeah, that'd be like, okay, that's probably raises it up a level rather than somebody else,
But the problem is that requires someone using their brain as opposed to following a script.
Yeah. And that's the challenge, is getting through to the person to connect is in a position where they can use their brain and are allowed to use their brain to make a reasonable, logical analysis and decision. Yeah.
And the problem is you're talking about the federal government, so that's not really an option.
Yeah. It's
not even in the White House.
Yeah, it can be a challenge, and that's the. I'm glad you got that resolved, because I know that's been. We haven't talked about it, but I remember you saying it. I was just hard to believe that was 5 years ago. So I'm glad you got it taken care of. Well, speaking of getting stuff taken care of, we have a lot of images to get taken care of. And I was going to say, this show is brought to you by Simi, because he has...
Not Pfizer?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't want to go through all these photographs. There's too many.
No, let's just take a quick look through them, and if I'll pause, and if there's something you see, because there's about 50 of them. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, but we do have a couple selfies, which we haven't seen from Simi. He's it's kind of like, where's Waldo? So, we'll find out. But yeah, let's go through. We'll just pause for a few seconds, and if anybody has a comment or anything, let's talk about it. Does that sound good, James?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get situated there.
Okay.
He didn't take a road trip or something. This is not like his vacation to.
He got a new camera.
Yeah, he got a new camera a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So it's remotivated to get his money's worth.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. He was still doing quite a bit, but yeah, it did slow down a little bit in summer into the fall. So
yeah, there's no greater motivator than new gear.
New gear, yeah.
You just spent $3,000 on some camera equipment, so you better go out and use it.
What did he end up getting?
I think it was. Well, this was also
the Nikon 7 Mark II or something. What is it?
It is the Z6 II. So the second version of the Nikon Z6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he went mirrorless.
Yeah. So it's the second generation of their full frame mirrorless, basically. Yeah. Which is, so he didn't have to change anything with his lenses. I think he might have got, no, he got a couple lenses. I think he got one or two new lenses as well. So
probably that 50 that we were talking about.
Yeah, he's got that, and then this one I think there's 14 to 30 that he's used, kind of that wide angle. So yeah, he's been using it quite a bit, and it's cool to see, just the the snow. And he's doing a lot. He's doing more stuff in black and white too. So
I like this in black and white because there's not really going to be any color in it.
Yeah, for this time of year, there's no leaves on the trees and that type of thing. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So some nice texture there. So yeah,
I mean, which wanted to take a picture like this, but there aren't any piers around that can.
You'd have to go out to like Santa Cruz. Is that probably the closest one to you? Santa Cruz Pier? I don't know. Or Monterey?
Pacifica.
What's that?
Pacifica.
Oh, Pacifica? Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be. Yep, they do have a pier there. I forgot about that.
That's on the other side of the peninsula of where San Francisco is.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. Nice Walnut Beach in the cold embrace. Yeah, so he took a lot of these right around Christmas. So that week of Christmas, end of the year.
It's so odd to see snow on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys don't see snow on the beach.
Well, yeah. And I don't know if there's some sort of apocalyptic event or something.
Yeah. So
although it did snow here back in 1974.
Okay. The Great Blizzard of 1974.
Yeah.
It happens to everyone. You get snow up in the mountains. I mean, up in the hills there.
I was so pissed. I was 7 years old and didn't want to go to school because I wanted to play in the snow. My mom and dad said, "No, you're going to school."
Yeah.
Oh, I was so bad.
You'll thank me. You'll thank us for it later on. Yeah.
No,
so this is.
I'm still holding my grudge.
Huh. So he thought. So we've seen this scene before. Do you remember this, James? Or he was saying that they thought they were like reinforcing bars to go through the rock to keep the rock from.
I've got a very small picture on my screen because I'm not using my desktop.
Oh, okay. So these little, I'll zoom it in. There we go.
That's it.
So these things, he thought originally that they were supports of some kind, where you would drill through and put, like bars or whatever. But apparently, he said they are not anymore. So he doesn't know what they are. So they appear to be on the surface of the rock and not going through it. Maybe gathering, He thinks maybe to gather material, to maybe put as a place for stuff to grow on that they can then assess, like whatever,
Yeah, like all these little snails and stuff that are
snails and stuff. Yeah, that might be what it is. That makes sense, because then they can take those off without harming the rock or the life. They can just take that panel off, take it in, and do whatever they do. That makes sense, because it looks like they're different levels, and they all have stuff growing on them, or whatever, like snails and lichen and whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. I bet you that's what they are. But yeah, it's kind of cool. So
I'm sure if this was Alabama, they'd be full of bullet holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, that's what I was thinking right now. If they were around here, they'd be full of bullet
Yeah.
holes too.
Yeah. Good target, huh?
No,
Yeah.
no offense to the people of Alabama. I love you guys too.
No, Alabama's a great state. So then we got view of Faulkner Island from West Rock and Madison. So yeah, so this is a couple days later, and the snow is gone. So this was taken. Oh, this is kind of nice. I like this one. Kind of neat, some color there in the vine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is no snow, and this is a week later, and all the snow's gone. See, there we go. Me against a tree. And there's Simi. Oh, and he matches. Look at that. The blue markings on the tree. He's got a blue jacket. There you go. Yeah, a Simi selfie. Yeah, nice. He is. There you go. So a little bit of green in the middle of winter. That's kind of a neat.
I like what he's trying to do here.
Yeah.
But I wish the frame was that green was a little bit more to the left.
A little more to the left.
Yeah, because
Oh.
it's visually very kind of tense because
Yeah.
it's so close to the edge.
Okay. Yeah. So if it was maybe over 2/3 of, if he could have framed it differently to have it move over. Yeah.
But without, disrupting what he's doing on the other side of the frame.
Yeah.
As well.
So yeah, I wonder if the tree was, maybe he tried it, or maybe he didn't, but maybe you wonder if the tree. It looks like maybe there's more trunk over there.
Maybe you could have. Maybe there was some obstruction or something. Or
Yeah.
just the way it was.
Yeah. No, that's a good point though. It does a little bit of tension there because it is so far over, but it definitely stands out. I mean, that's eyes get immediately drawn to it. Yeah. So that's kind of a neat one. See these little things. Fungus focus. Right. Okay. So this is the 50 mil. Yeah. The 50 mil f1.8s. So this is the razor thin depth of focus at 1.8. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. So he's got a few. I mean, this one right here is these two. This one and this one are about the only two that are in focus. Everything else is a little blurry. Yeah. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, when it's there, it's kind of hard to tell. But once you zoom in, you really see the difference.
Yeah. It's probably pretty tough to
Helps
focus.
having a sharp lens, so that just makes the difference.
Yeah, that's a good. See, okay, yeah. So I think the two lenses he got were this 14-30 and the 50 millimeter. I think were the two that he got with the camera, the S lenses. So, yeah, he's definitely using his. Okay, another take on that scene. Yeah, that's what's neat about watching getting his images from Simi over the years, because he visit same general areas at different times of the year. So we see summer and we see winter. Over the course of the last few years, you see like this island out here. I mean, how many images has that been in that he's shared? Probably 100. But you've seen it in winter and sun in different spots in the sky and different
the
things.
water level, the light, the clouds, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's always different. It's always going to be different.
So that's the thing. I guess the thing to learn is, you may not have that many places you go, but it's still different every time you go. You just have to look for the differences.
A couple years ago, I heard a guy that was living out in San Francisco that every day he would go out and photograph the Golden Gate.
Mm.
But everyone's got
time. Do you do the same time or different times a day? Or
I don't recall.
Okay. Yeah. What was that, James?
everyone's got a different eye. So if 10 photographers went out there and photographed that picture which you have up now, it'll all be different.
Oh yeah, completely different. Yeah. Just higher, lower, left, right. Yeah. I mean, if someone would focus on something else over something else. Yeah. That's what's always fun about going out on a like a photo walk. If you go out with a group of photographers.
Yeah.
And you stop and people are generally photographing the same scenes. If you're going as a group and stopping and doing stuff, and then you look at the differences, and it's like, wow, you saw something completely different from the way I did. So, yeah, that's one of the fun things about going out with a group, is just seeing how everybody else interprets the same thing. Air quotes, the same scene, even though it's not.
Or in some of the cases that I've had, someone's actually taking photographs of things that I just didn't even notice.
Yeah, yep. And it's all based on how you view the world. Do you see colors differently? I mean, because nobody sees colors the same way, even if you're not colorblind. You still don't see colors the same way. So certain colors appeal to certain people more than others, so that might be what draws one person to a part of a scene where you don't even notice it because it's, it doesn't get your attention. Yeah. So it's, whether you have, good eyes, bad eyes, whether your lens prescription is 100% correct or maybe slightly off. I mean, it's just, okay, so here's Jose. Okay, good.
That looks like Bodie.
Yeah, I think it is. Self-portrait, no, Atolia, abandoned house. But yeah, I mean, similar type of like ghost town type of thing.
Right.
In the desert. Okay, nice. Okay, there's Jose after all these years. And that's a nice contrast there. The nice bright sweatshirt, bright red. Yeah.
I wish he was, again, like the other tree, a little bit to the left. So there was some sky right in front of the bill of his cap, as opposed to it intersecting the vertical of the window.
Oh, okay. So if he would move a little bit over to his left.
No, to his right.
Okay, his right. So closer to the other edge of the window then on this side.
Yes. Just to be within the frame as opposed to slightly out of it.
Yeah.
Mark, can you change the picture? That's it.
Like that?
Yeah, so that's it. Now I can see him.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Oh, so you're thinking, Frank, if he was a little farther over to this way, that the bill of his hat would be in line with the break in the window?
Or have some sky in the
back. Okay, between the bill and the window frame. Okay.
Right. So
have a little bit of blue between him and the building. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think if he increases it, there's no need for it because you can see it. But when he decreases it, there is a need because you can't see it very much.
Yeah. See, this is, normal on the screen. So
you can't really notice any difference. But as soon as you enlarge that, you'll notice.
Yeah. So this was taken with his, so the 20 mil, so the wide angle, 20 millimeter. So basically the latest, is this the latest Sony? I think it is, isn't it? RM2. It's a recent model. Yeah.
7R Mark II.
Kicking butt.
Yeah, they're on the Mark IV now, I think.
Okay, all right. So he was shooting with the Olympus for a while, for like a year or so. He was shooting with the Olympus. Now he's back to the Sony. So
I think now that Olympus is history, he probably decided to move on to greener pastures.
Back to the Sony. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't blame him.
Looking at this picture, what do you think was the main story of this picture?
I think
is that necessary?
I don't know. I think maybe he just wanted to do a self-portrait, and that was it. I don't.
Well, the self-portrait would be him. So if it's a self-portrait, it should be more about him.
Showing what he likes to photograph in that environment, because he does do a lot of images of these old, ghost towns in the desert. So, maybe this is a favorite. Maybe he likes this particular area or whatever. Maybe new versus old. How about that? Life in a dead building.
Yeah, generally, and obviously this is a vacation photo, but I think generally most people, when they're photographing people within the scene, there is some sort of connection. Maybe this was their house and this is after a fire, or it's a barn and the cowboy. Those sort of kind of things.
He says here, morning sun through the window lightens me up for a self-portrait in the middle of this decay. So maybe light, life in the middle of what's old and kind of falling apart.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's definitely beautiful light.
Yeah, he's got nice light there. So, yeah, that's a neat area. If you ever, Frank, have you gone down to Bellied or Death Valley or anything? Have you ever?
I've been to Bellied. I've never been to Death Valley.
Okay, all right. I would say if you and have you been there, James?
No.
Okay. If you ever get the chance, that is fantastic part of the country. Don't go in the middle of summer. I would say go in the fall or the winter. You don't want to go to Death Valley in July or August. But
yeah, no kidding.
We were there about 9 years ago, and we went in October, and 29 years ago, yeah. And it was still hot in Death Valley. It was still in the 90s, but it wasn't uncomfortably hot, and just desolate but beautiful at the same time. I mean, it's just very. There's no trees around for the most part, and just the rock formation. So you would look at it, and it's like, there's nothing here, but there's actually quite a bit there. It's just different. Different environment. So I think that's one of the places we want to go back to. Maybe at a different time of year, maybe in the spring. I think.
Seems like a place you'd want to bring as wide of a lens as you can possibly bring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big wide open land. I mean, yeah. Talk about big sky country.
Oh yeah. Short of fisheye. That's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get up on. You've seen the. Yeah. I mean, just the panoramas there.
Yeah. When they get into the salt flats and they're
the valley. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The sand and the sun and all the colors. Yeah. I mean, it's
when you're on your knees or something, or on your stomach.
Yeah. When we were there, I took a lot of images, but I didn't do the scenery justice. I mean, it was just. I mean, you could always go back there and always, just like Simi does. You can go back there and always find something different way of interpreting it. Yeah.
Sure.
That's cool to see Jose finally. We've never seen
that. That's a nice shot.
Yeah. Sorrowful Silence. It's 24 to 120. Yeah. No, this was taken January 2nd, so right after the first of the year. Ooh. So this is similar forest scene, but in black and white instead of color. Light in the darkness. Okay, so he's focusing on the light on the other side of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And this definitely black and white fits that perfectly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That water is gorgeous.
Yeah. Nice sun rays here. Yeah. Morning glory, early morning light streaming through the clouds. Oh yeah.
That's a poster.
Yeah, that is. That's very nice. Yeah.
You got the God rays in the back even. Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. God approved. Okay. Another self. Oh, it's panorama. He sent the last pano. In my own thoughts, in a sea of doubt, unfamiliar places, unknown faces, in a parade not of my own making. Found my purpose, lost no more. That's pretty profound, Simi. There he is. He's got his phone. He's looking up into the trees. Yeah, it's neat. Panorama.
He's using his phone to take the shot.
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, probably Bluetooth.
Got his camera set up in front of him, then he uses his phone to trigger the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I'm sure there's the app. You could probably focus and see live view focus and everything through the camera, and then front of the shutter. He moved a little bit, So just
the composition on this thing is really good.
Yeah.
And being able to recognize the pattern, because you got the trees that are the tree that's to the left of him, behind his back, right there. And if you go to the left, no, zoom back out.
Oh, okay. Yep.
There you go. You can see that it's forming a path or an arc to the left.
Yeah.
And there's a path there, and then you have the two trees in the center that are framing the other two trees in the center, in which he's in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you got a path to the right, and then you got a path off to the other side.
You got one going this way and then one going this way. Yeah.
It's a complicated composition, and actually to find something and to actually spot it in the forest.
Yeah. So he's got himself lined up.
That's not easy.
He's got himself lined up with kind of the column of trees framing him going front to back. And then off to the left and to the right, you've got the path of trees leading you off in either direction there. Yeah.
Right. And it's not a straight path. It's a nice curved path, which is visually pleasing.
Lead you away. Yeah. Yeah, there was some, he just didn't walk up, sit down his camera and take the image. There's a little bit of consideration before he did that.
I wouldn't expect anything like
that. And the other thing, once again, you've got the blue, and you got the blue marks on the trees, so it kind of follows through with that too. That's kind of interesting.
I would like to ask him if that was planned or that was just by accident.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it was by accident, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Intentional by accident, accidentally intentional. Yeah. There we go. Bumps in the road. Yep. Old fallen tree. Yeah. Yeah, he's making good use of. Okay, so here we are, kind of back in that same. Go to the light, black and white. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, he's. Oh. Whoa. Okay.
Nice.
Intentional camera movement here, I think. Up and down, I would guess. Yeah. Or just the filter, maybe. Yeah. Because he was doing that intentional camera motion for quite a while. He was doing that, moving it side to side and up and down. And.
Hey, Mark, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you know on the screen, when you're looking at it, to the right, you've got the private chat and comments and that? That takes up a lot of space. Is there a way of getting rid of that? Because no one uses it, really. Because then it gives you more picture on the frame.
F11. Hit F11 on your keyboard.
Let's see. Can I move it or not? I don't know. That's a good question.
I've got a small box on my laptop.
Well, actually, let's try this. How about that? Does that make it a little better?
That's increasing inside the box.
Okay. That's not really doing anything. Hey, there's Simi. Oh my gosh, Simi. You're there. How long have you been sitting there?
Increasing inside the box.
Okay. That's not really doing anything. Hey, there's Simi. Oh my gosh, Simi.
Looks like he's still in the woods.
Yeah. Hey, there you are, Simi. I think we were getting some feedback there.
Okay, well, that comes
like he's still in the woods.
Yeah. Hey, there you are, Simi. Hey, there we are.
Oh, we're having an earthquake here.
I hear a lot of background noise.
We're getting. Getting. Oh. There we are. Let's how you doing? Doing good, Simmy? Yeah?
I don't think he can hear you.
Can you hear us? Okay. All right. Got to get your microphone to work.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, Happy New Year and welcome. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got to get your microphone to work.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, Happy New Year and welcome.
Mark, can you hear the echoing?
Yeah, I can. I can still hear an echo. There's a delay, a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. Not being funny, it happened when Simmy came on. So just a suggestion, you're going to want to, just a suggestion, Simmy log off and come back on again.
Yeah, that might.
Started when he came on.
Let me see. Let me unmute here. Oh, I haven't popped back on here. Let's see. I hope he wasn't sitting in the waiting room, Tom, because I was looking at the other screen.
No, he was fine.
Okay.
But we just had an earthquake.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Yeah.
Who did?
California, here in the Bay Area.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't very strong. It was probably a 3.5.
Oh, okay. So just enough to be felt, but nothing damage.
Yeah, just to make you look around and then, okay, whatever.
Okay. Just another day in California.
Yeah, but when they're they come in three sometimes, so
yeah. Who
knows?
You're in the middle of a Doobie Brothers album, Living on the Fault Line, right?
There you go. Yeah.
I was just listening to that last week, actually. Hadn't listened to that album in quite a while.
Maybe I scared Simmy off.
Yeah, let's see if he popped back on here.
I was just looking at the latest change, and the latest change was he come on, the echoing started. Yeah, no,
there was some.
That's because he was more than likely listening through desktop speakers and not headphones.
Yeah. Okay.
So his mic was picking up the speaker.
He's back now. Look.
Are you there, Simmy?
I'm here.
All right.
Oh,
hey, there we go.
Seems better.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Excellent. We've been enjoying your new camera.
I'm glad somebody is.
How do you like it?
It's a camera.
Does the job.
It goes click when you push the button.
Yeah, it does. It's not a lot different than the old one.
Okay.
In fact, I'd probably still be shooting with the old one, but it had some features that I wanted to do with the built-in ability to do long exposures without having an extra little setup, so that you don't have to. Yeah. So I don't have to have a remote. It's all built in. Of course, the time lapse just keeps getting better and better on the thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there was some other features that were just nice on it, nice enough for me to, sell the old equipment and just buy new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't like about my current camera. After 30 seconds, so 31 seconds or longer, I have to take a dark frame. But the camera is 11 years old, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was time.
Yeah. You had the other one for 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Longer than that.
Oh, well, you had two of the same one, but one fell in the water. So.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, overall, the whole system was like, probably almost 5-6 years. 2014. Wow. 2014, I think I got that thing originally, and then it, the first one dumped in the water and then replaced it.
Yeah.
What was your frame count on that camera when you sold it, or did you not check?
I did not check, but it had to be pretty high.
Well used.
I could probably still find out if I went and looked at one of the last photographs it took. That gets embedded in there as well. So
yeah,
Yeah. The last photo you took with it is probably the file name.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you sell it to a new? Did it go to a new home? Somebody's going to use it.
It did. Yeah.
Good.
Somebody else is gonna, get a lot more use out of it.
That's good. Yeah. That's the important thing. Yeah. Well, good. Well, we've been enjoying the images. So you've been doing and you've been getting back out there. You've been out quite a bit the last month or two, huh?
Yeah, I had some issues starting in June. I kind of tore my right calf.
Oh.
And then I was in rehab for about six weeks.
Wow. Okay.
And then a couple weeks after that, I was out scouting, and I broke my foot.
Ouch.
on the same leg. So that was in a boot for about 6.5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. So that takes you to October, basically.
But no, it was. I'm trying to think when it was. I think December I got to go ahead to take the boot off.
Wow.
And then
okay.
He basically said I'm good to go. No jumping or running until I see him like this coming week.
Okay.
Where I'll probably get one more X-ray and everything should be fine because I don't feel any ill effects from it. So.
Okay. Good. Yeah. But yeah, 6 months later, yeah, pretty much.
How did you end up breaking your foot?
I rolled it when I tripped over a tree root, and when it rolled at the same time, the side hit the. There was a rock that was inside. It was in the ground because it was really rocky terrain and roots were all over the place.
Oh, okay.
And it was the 5th metatarsal one, so it was the bone on the outside of the foot.
Okay.
And luckily, it was a clean break. It was on the upper half, so I didn't have to do any sort of surgery or anything. So just keep it isolated in a boot and not do anything crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, that explains the lack of images the second half of 2021. Okay. There's a good reason for it.
Yeah, I missed almost all the fall. So.
Yeah. Well, good to hear you are on the mend then. Yeah, torn calf and that makes it really hard to walk with a torn calf. Did that require surgery for that?
No.
Okay.
No, we just did therapy to get the scar tissue out.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, it's good, but I guess it's part of getting old.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, I've been struggling with a hamstring / hip flexor, thing that's kind of come and gone, and yeah, it's.
You got to do stuff like warm up and stretch and all that.
Yeah, it's like all this useless wasted time. Just go out and go. Yeah, no, not anymore. So yeah, it's just the reality. Yeah, for sure. So good. Oh, good. So everything good outside of the broken foot and the torn calf and everything. Good.
Yeah, stuff's good. Just had a major snowstorm not too long ago, and then it's all gone again.
Yeah, your second one. That was the second one in 2 weeks or whatever, wasn't it? Yeah.
We get dumped with snow, and then the rain comes and it washed everything away.
Okay. The snow's pretty much gone now, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
We're back to freezing temperatures again. It was like barely 27 today.
Okay. Did you get freezing rain this last few days? I know it was
Friday we did for a bit, but then it warmed up. So it was,
okay.
As long as you didn't go out in the middle of the night, you were fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was the problem down here. Did you get freezing rain, James? Thursday, Friday?
A lot of cold. We had 3 weekends of snow, which is most unusual for us.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know what freezing rain is.
Yeah.
Well, we had some icy roads after it, and that's what we're concerned about is black ice.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Too bad.
Yeah. It's just think of your nice heavy winter fog, Frank, just turning into just freezing when it hits the road. That's about what freezing rain is.
Yeah.
Get pretty treacherous pretty fast with that.
Oh, God, yeah. It sounds like a real challenge to be driving in such a.
Yeah, it's not good for tree limbs and overhead power lines either. Ice doesn't doesn't sit well with those objects. But outside of that, it's fine. Yeah. So, well, good. So, yeah, we've been noticing you've had a couple of selfies that you put in here. You got your no. Here you go, Frank. You were going to ask. We want.
Yes, I wanted to know
Yeah, let me get back to this image here. Right? Is this the one? Frank?
Yes.
Your blue outfit. Your blue outfit, was that planned because of the blue lines on the trees, or that was just serendipity?
That was serendipity because, believe it or not, I have been to this particular park, but not in this section before. And this was the first time I've been to. I was looking for these trees, but somehow I took a wrong turn and never made it onto the trailhead that gets to this place.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you find this one spot? Because this is great. The way you have all the trees going and arranged. It's.
Yep.
I don't think. I mean, if you had trees where you could just plant the trees, pop them in.
Yeah.
Ship them in from someplace else. I don't think you could have done a better job than what you have here.
Yeah. The as far as taking the image, I did the pano first, and then that's the other good thing is that the app works a lot better on this camera than it does on the older camera. Then I can go out and then put myself into one of the frames and then take a picture of myself.
Oh, okay. So you did the pano first, and then went back out, and then basically put you in one of the frames. Huh?
Yep, without changing anything. But
nice.
I'm thinking this part of the area, it's donated. In fact, I think there's a house in the middle of this entire park, and they've dedicated a few acres where they like replanted a lot of these pine trees, which we have pine trees in Connecticut, but just not bunches of them like together like this.
Okay, yeah.
There's about 5 acres. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Using your cell phone to trigger the camera.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. For this one here, there's a Nikon app that connects to the camera. It did with the old one too, but it was always flaky. But the new one seems to work that out much better.
And that's why you have your cell phone in your hand in this shot.
Yep.
We're doing that, right? Okay. Yeah.
You weren't just looking for service.
It does. It looks like I'm lost.
Yeah. Looking up, saying, "I need an extra bar somewhere. Find me an extra bar."
Yeah,
there's one on the corner.
But this is really a great spot because most of the trees we have are like new growth. We have only a few spots that have old growth trees, and one of them is in the upper western part of Connecticut, which it's hard to get there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go back there at one time and try to take some photographs there. But it's easier to go to the coast because it's close by.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Silly. What do you do with all your photographs now that you've taken them? Now that you put them on the page here, what do you do now? Do you print them off? Do you put them in an album? What do you do with them? Because you have a lot of photographs.
Yes, I do. I do sell some of them. I haven't not done anything like put them in sort of like a show or exhibit yet, because I'd have to go through each one and figure out what I'd want to put in and how I'd want to put it in. I'd like some sort of theme or whatnot if I were to do a show. Yeah. Have not done any sort of books or anything yet. I have done calendars. I do calendars for people.
Okay. Do you have a site or anything? I don't remember where we can go. You can go and buy images.
Simulated.com is still okay. my site with 2 M's. Okay. 2 M's.
All right. Okay.
And from there you can get to
okay. Yeah.
To my Pixel site.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of great images, yeah, but picking out which ones to put, like you said, put in a book or in a show or something, that's a lot of work because you want to like you said, you want to come up with a theme and find the ones, yeah, and then you got to decide how you want them presented. How big do you want them? What kind of media? Yeah.
There's a way you're supposed to sequence them so they flow naturally together. All that. That's a whole other enterprise.
Yeah. There's
It could take months to do, especially if you're going to have to make hard prints and frame them.
Yeah. Is there a like a photo club or something? Maybe they've got somebody that's has experience putting together shows that could give you like, tips, shortcuts, that type of thing to kind of help you condense the process a little bit.
There's one person that in our local photo club who he exhibits down at the Salmagundi Club in New York City.
Okay.
And he puts his work there. I haven't had time to get together, especially since COVID, to sit down and go over that kind of stuff with him.
Yeah. No, I would imagine it would be to do the first one, especially by yourself, would be really daunting. There's just so much to think about because you put so much thought into the creating the images, then you don't want to mess that up by putting it together in a way that you're not comfortable with, or it doesn't do the images justice. Yeah.
And even when he exhibits down at Salmagundi, it's usually 1 or 2 images at a time. It's with other artists. It's not like this one person show. So
yeah. Well, that might be, if you could find if you're interested in doing it, you can find a way where you can just do a couple at a time and get used to the process. Maybe how do I do 3 images? Like pick 3 and then decide if you like that and you want to do more, then you could kind of expand from there. But yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of stuff. I mean, all local stuff, seasons. I mean, there's so many. I mean, yeah, it's probably overwhelming the number of options that you could have as far as putting. Do you do one scene over different times of years and seasons? Or you could go crazy thinking about all the options. I would think.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that's why right now I'm still I just go out and shoot and explore and experiment.
Yeah. Well, you've developed a certain style. I mean, there's just when your images have a certain general look to them. I mean, I feel like when I see them, it's like, yeah, that's your image. Just like remember Pat that does the cars. When he shoots the cars, he has a certain way that he shoots the cars. It's like, yeah, that's Pat, the way he looks at the cars and shoots them. So yeah, so you've definitely got a style, but yeah, there's always something new. I mean, that's the best part of it, I guess. Yeah, there's always something new. I mean, places you've been 100 times, every time you go, there's something different. Yeah.
Yep. Old places, and now I've got a new place to explore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this tree area. I haven't even scratched the surface of this place.
Oh, okay. All right. So this area here, then. Okay. Yeah. This would be interesting because obviously, it's planted because things are in rows and symmetrical that way. But yeah, different seasons and different parts. But you said it was about 5 acres, 5 or 6 acres.
About that much, yeah, of just these type of pines before. Okay. I mean, the whole property is much larger, but
yeah, but just a section of it. Huh.
We got a place up near Yosemite. It's called Big Trees National Park, and some of these trees are about 30 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
Huge old growth, original growth redwoods. Huge trees.
So that's different is that a subsection of sequoia, or is that even different than that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
it might be within.
Yeah,
it's just a national park.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been there. It's probably been 30 years, but I've been there twice in my life. Once as a child, and then once as an adult about 30 years ago. We tried to get out there when we were in Death Valley, but that was too far. It was a bit too far to go to extend beyond going to Death Valley. So we just need to plan a trip there for 2 weeks. That would be, and just go to all the different places. Yeah. That's why I'm on the 2-year plan, James. The 2-year plan.
It'll soon be here.
2024. That's the goal. Work optional in 2024. Doesn't mean I'll stop working, but I will be work optional.
My goal was when I was 62, I was retiring. When I reached 62, I retired.
Yeah. I will. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it the year I turn 60. That's the plan. I'll still work, but I'll be a lot more flexible with my time. That's, I enjoy what I do, and I'll always probably do it, but I don't want to be doing it full time all the time. Yeah. So then I can go to California for 2 weeks and just go wherever, or a month. Why not? Yeah. Or I can go to Connecticut and bug Simi for a month and just follow him around and
You lost in the trees.
yeah.
Just watch your step. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, good. Any since you're here, Simi, any image out of the ones you posted recently that you want to talk about? Anything else? Any ones that you were? You had quite a bit here. I was joking. I said this show is brought to you by Simi because you had so many images.
Well, I didn't know. I've just been dumping them here. I didn't know that.
That's great.
That you guys. No. That I'm the only one here creating images.
On a regular, you and Wes are the regulars.
I'm not really doing anything either.
I've been almost zero the last year, but Joe has been pretty much zero as well. So Dennis and James have been doing stuff. Wes a little bit, and then you, and then Jose's been contributing stuff, which it was interesting to see that image. This one here of self-portrait, which was the first time we've seen a self-portrait of Jose. And I don't think he's ever been on the show, but he been posting images here for years. So it was kind of nice to see that.
I don't really have anything that stands out, but if you guys have any questions about any of them.
Yeah, I was just kind of. Was there anything else? Question. That panorama, that was one that Frank and I were talking about right when you popped on. I was like, I wonder how that was planned out. And so it sounds like there was some thought put into it. It wasn't just random. Put the camera down and take a shot.
No, that one was like the panel first drew me to this set of trees there, and then that little gap. I says, that would be neat if I could just be in that gap there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's neat. You got some nice winter shots of snow on the ground. That's kind of nice. All the recent snowstorms.
Yep.
Oh, guess I got to go to Flickr. And some remaining leaves. That's kind of nice. I like that light there.
Nice. I forget what type of trees are, but they never drop their leaves till spring. So
okay. Yeah, we've got some oaks down here that the leaves don't fall until April.
Yeah.
They die and just sit on the tree all year, and then they fall off as the new growth comes in. Yeah, you had a pretty significant snow there. That's a pretty good amount of snow.
Yeah, and that was not the big. This was not the big snowstorm that this was in. The big snowstorm had actually twice as much as this. Okay,
the last one you had a week ago. Yeah,
and it's all gone.
Wow. Yeah, that is the way of the snowstorm in the east. I know growing up in Pittsburgh, we'd get snow and then rain would come along and wash a lot of it away. In Colorado, it comes out, it snows, and then the sun comes out and melts it all off pretty fast. So.
Well, that's like here when the snow settles by the afternoon, it's gone.
Yeah. I went out on it was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago this week. It was the last time we had a really significant snow here in Atlanta, and it was out when I was running. So in the span of a 2-hour run, it went from no snow to rain to snow to about 4 inches of snow to kids making snowmen and sliding in the snow to the snow being gone, all within about 2 hours.
Wow.
It was like, just all compressed. By the time I got done with my run, the snow was pretty much gone. When I started, there was no snow on the ground. that was kind of interesting. But yeah, no, this is neat. Yeah, with the snow on the trees and the branches. Yeah. Oh, you've got.
Oh, Mark, go back to that one you first showed me with the markings on the rock. To explain that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we figured out what it might be, Simi. The rock with the what you thought were support.
Someone in the comments section had mentioned that they were for like to monitor to the population of like the local snails and
Yep,
and mollusks that are on the rock.
Yeah, so that way it allows them to collect the samples without disturbing the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they just unbolt the panel, take it into the lab, count, and do whatever they do, and then they can put it back. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, because I know originally you were thinking that maybe these were to help support the rocks in some way, but.
Yeah, that was even before I got close up to them, and I was like, no, that's not what these are.
Yeah, so they're basically, they're like petri dishes for stuff to grow on, and then they collect them and count and assess what's growing, what isn't, how long it takes, and then then they can put them back without disturbing anything else. Yeah, there we go. Learn something new every show. Let's see if there's anyone else that kind of caught. These snow shots are nice.
Nice panel.
Yeah, this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sleeping giant.
Yeah, this whole front part actually used to be populated with trees, almost like the new spot that I found.
Okay.
And we had one of those microbursts that came through, and almost all of Sleeping Giant was closed for almost a year.
Wow. Okay.
This front section was decimated, and they finally cleaned up most of it. This recent falls are from recent storms, but this did not at one time was not this wide open. So
okay. All right.
So they were falling through the wind.
Excuse me?
What caused them to fall?
Microburst. It's like a small tornado.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
Yeah. It just comes through and twists the trees and breaks them. Yeah. Yep.
And we've been getting those more and more every year. Microbursts or just straight out tornadoes coming through. Where like we rarely have those, but now we do.
Yeah. Yeah. We get them. We're coming into our tornado season here in the South, probably in the next month or so. March and April for us. We're going to get the tornadoes coming through, which I never knew about. I didn't really think about until we moved here. In the first spring when we were here, we spent 2 or 3 nights in the basement because there was a tornado warning. It's like, oh, I didn't know there were tornadoes in Georgia. Yeah, there are. Yeah. Yep. So
hey, listen, guys,
several areas around us up in the North Mountains, especially where this type of thing has happened, where the microbursts just come in and just taken down a whole swath of trees, and they're kind of in a pattern almost. They all got torn off at the same angles and that type of thing.
It's happened in San Francisco too. Rare, but it has happened.
Yeah, that's always.
Hey guys, I'm going to leave now. So, Simi, good seeing you. Nice to see you on the show. I'm going. See you.
See you, James.
Yeah, have a good one.
The one nice thing about the new camera just seems to do everything just a little better than the old one.
Mm-hmm.
This features that are like, wow, that's neat. And like if I'm doing astrophotography, instead of struggling with trying to find focus on the brightest point, and I just turn the camera off, turn it back on, and it automatically focuses to infinity. That's just the default. So as soon as you turn it on, it's at infinity.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So you set it up, turn it on, and then bang, it's good.
Yeah, you just you have your scene set up, and then you turn back on, and then there it is. You don't have to worry about focus or anything at night.
Okay. So obviously low light performance is great. Noise, pixel noise is much less than in previous generations, I'm sure. So long exposures, a lot less to clean up.
The other one was good. I mean, the 750, I could shoot it as high as ISO 10,000 without, and still get a decent image. And this one, 100 and I mean, sorry, not 120, 12,000. Yeah, 12. No, yeah, 12,000.
Marginally better.
Yeah.
That kind of thing really appeals to me, especially if it has IBIS, because then I don't have to carry around a 15-pound tripod.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think that's been the biggest increase over the last 4 or 5 years is the ISO performance of the sensors, and it's a combination of the sensor and I guess the firmware being able to, more processing power for it to clean up that stuff and get better. Yeah. I think that seems to be because megapixels haven't really, they've increased, but that's marginal. I think the biggest thing is
the quality of the pixels,
performance and additional processing power. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, we're talking about ISO 12,000. Back in the film days, they got that ISO 50 slide film. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and ISO 3200 was max.
Man, yeah.
I'd push that stuff to 6400 all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have a question for you guys. That one right there.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that's not necessarily the picture itself, but anybody ever been ice fishing?
No.
Yes, it's been a long time, but I have been. Yeah.
I mean, this guy was out there walking around. I was like, "There's no way you get me out on that ice."
That looks a little, suspect there.
I would be on my ass before you could blink.
Yeah, I mean that just doesn't look. Although it is surprising, though, you don't need really. For people to go out on ice, you don't need ice more than about an inch thick. But if I see there's water. No, that's a bit too close to open water for me.
And this is the first time I've actually taken a picture with somebody on. But I mean, every year, we get it where the ice is just barely frozen, and there are people out there ice fishing.
Yeah. It's I know in Illinois, when we lived in Illinois, people would go up to Wisconsin in the winter for ice fishing, in the lakes up there in the dells, and the ice up there would be 5 or 6 inches thick. So they actually drive out with their trucks, and they have ice fishing huts that they set down on the ice with heaters and propane, and they just hang out in their hut, and they've got grills, the whole thing, and it's like a little city sets up on the ice, and it's I've never done that. I've done the little bit I've done was as a kid on lakes, just drilling a hole in the with a hand drill, auger, and then putting the worm down with the bobber and hopefully catching a bluegill or something.
Or not something that's too big for the hole.
Yeah. But now, it's more about just going out. It's like a tailgate on the ice. They're going out. They've got their coolers full of beer and brats and
Coolers. You don't need a cooler at that point. You just leave it on the ground.
So, but so you didn't venture out and ask him what he was doing out there, Simi?
No, the people in this area are kind of strange.
Okay.
It's one of those areas you go to, and like almost everybody that's there seems a little bit off.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like I just take my picture and then I go.
Yeah, you don't ask too many questions. Just
Sounds like San Francisco.
Well, yeah, some great stuff. Yeah, some nice images. So keep going, Simi. That is fantastic. And how about US? You've got a few images here. Any of them that this one?
No, I just thought I was looking at my Flickr page and it still had Christmas lights on it. I said I gotta do something.
Okay, well, this is okay. Wow.
Just a limpkin doing what they do, eating snails.
An apple snail. So that's a good sized snail then.
Yeah, and they're an invasive species. So.
Oh, okay. Any local restaurants do apple snail?
No, I haven't heard of anything.
Okay.
A little garlic, a little butter.
Yeah, a little butter and no.
Maybe. I don't know what they taste like. I've never tried to eat one.
They're an invasive species, why not? But yeah, they might not taste too good.
They probably don't taste good.
Yeah.
They definitely don't taste like apples.
Yeah.
Regular snails, I know, don't taste like anything. They taste like butter and garlic.
Yeah.
Right.
All the ones I've had have been drowned in butter and garlic. Yeah. Okay. Top owl. So is this a great horned owl?
Yeah, I was just way up in one of the dead trees when I was leaving one evening, so
Okay. Yeah.
couldn't really get a good shot of it, but figured I'd try.
It's a nice find. Yeah, nice find.
Good thing you had the 600 millimeter lens or 1,000 millimeter with the crop sensor.
Right. Yeah. Luckily, I had the crop sensor.
Yeah, I mean we've lived here for 15 years, and every year from October through April, we hear the owls every night. I mean, and we've seen them probably 3 times. They're just up in the tops of the trees, in the pine trees, hidden, and you never ever see them.
Yeah, they're good at hiding. Yeah,
and we've seen them 2 or 3 times, and there's a pileated woodpecker. The big Woody the woodpeckers around here. We've seen twice, but we hear them all the time. So yeah, you do a really good job of hiding in the trees. But no, that's Logan just sitting, got his talons wrapped around to one little branch.
Yeah, if you have one of these guys in your area, I mean, it's probably his territory. If you can find a nice open spot where there's trees and then there's an open spot in between, it's usually a nice little hunting spot for them.
Yeah, well, the place we have seen it is our neighbor's yard next to us. They had cleared out a number of their trees in the backyard, so it was kind of open, and they had a tree up there. It was still the tallest tree, and he was sitting up that year is when and so he was sitting up there, and the tree wasn't dead, but it had some branches that were gone at the top, so you were able to see it. But yeah, you're right. If they sit on the edge, you can see them. But we've seen shadows at night where I think it's been an owl, kind of swooping down to get a chipmunk or something like that. But as far as actually seeing them, it's very, very, very rare to see them. So, yeah.
Guys, I'm going to take off.
All right, Frank.
All right.
I'll see you, in 2 weeks? You're still doing the 2 weeks?
Yep, we're doing 2 weeks. So whatever that is, the 20th, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I just popped in to say Happy New Year to everybody because I missed the New Year.
See you. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Love your photos.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, Simi.
Yeah. It's always nice to see him.
No.
Right. See you guys.
Don't keep doing what I'm doing because I'll break my foot again.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Do it safely. Yeah. We got
guys.
All right. Take care, Simi. See ya.
Take care.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So you got the black-bellied whistling ducks. Okay.
Yeah. This is just kind of, if you went down to the prairie in the evening, this is what you see. Lots of birds flying around.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, it's good to get Simi in here. That's
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was last spring, maybe. It was before, it was definitely early part of the year.
Yeah.
If anything, or even fall before. So yeah, very good. All right. Well, hey, good show, Wes. Thanks for showing up.
Good to see you.
Back in 2 weeks on the 20th. So enjoy.
Good.
And stay safe. All right.
You too.
All right. See ya.
Bye.